welcome to another episode of Subscription Ecommerce Live. I am your host, Ashley Guttuso. It's lovely to have you here with us today. Today, we're going to be talking about something near and dear to the team at ARPU, and that is the anatomy of a strong shipping soon email. If you're wondering what a shipping soon email is because you call it something different, those are also known as upcoming shipment notifications on our end, as well as upcoming charge notifications. So there's a couple of different terms there that you can use. Technically, shipping soon could be used outside of shipping subscription items. But in this instance, we are talking about merchants who are sending subscription upcoming charge notifications or subscription shipping soon notifications. This is brought to you today by ARPU. We provide upcoming shipment notifications that increase AOV and LTV while reducing churn with two-click upsells and delays. That also includes custom messages based on subscription products or renewal counts. So you can actually use it to support a loyalty program. We work with Recharge for customers who are on Shopify and BigCommerce. You can find out more over at getarpu.com. Seth is handling all of the tech and dropping in links for you today. So he's going to drop in a link to our campaigns overview, which is kind of a recent within the last year feature release for us. And also the link to the newsletter that you can subscribe to get updates about this series. And then the last thing he's going to drop a link into the chat for you today is our top performer research results. We are going to be going over some of these results today as part of this presentation on the elements of an upcoming shipment notification. So if you do have questions, I invite you to ask them as we go. I love to keep meetings like this casual and to make sure that if anyone feels like they need to interrupt, that we go ahead and take that question and work it in. So if you ask it in the chat, Seth will call you out or message you, see if you want to come on live to ask it or have him ask it for you. And if I am unequipped to answer your question, we have some other members of the team here today, including Ryan Woodruff, who is our Director of Customer Experience. He may have that answer. And let's just go ahead and get started. All right, thanks for coming with us here today. What makes a good shipping soon, aka upcoming charge, aka upcoming shipment notification? I have 4 answers to that, but the first element number 1, is that it clearly delivers critical information first. So what we want in an upcoming shipment notification, or better yet, what the subscriber wants and needs in that notification, is critical information. That information is, we're about to charge you, what we're charging you for, when it's going to ship, and a deadline to make changes before it ships. So if they want to do something like delay it, add something to it, adjust their subscription, cancel their subscription, any change they want to make, you need to have a very clear deadline for them to make those by. Another element of this is that it needs to be very, very well timed. So I think we default to 3 days ahead, but if you, with your particular subscription as a merchant, feel that you need to be sending this 5 days ahead or less days ahead, you want to make sure that you're sending it at a time that gives them ample modification, an ample modification window. That's a good phrase for that. So number 1, clearly deliver the critical information first. This is a transactional email. It is not a marketing email. When we do it for ARPU, we add some marketing elements, but we keep the transactional information as the alpha content and let the modification items be beta or additional content. So they're not the primary reason. They might be the primary reason you want people to open the email, but the thing that you're doing is delivering an amazing, like best in class customer experience, which is telling me before you charge me that you're going to charge me, reminding me what you're charging me for, and that I have options if I want to change that before that charge goes through, before that box gets packed. So transactional emails typically should have no more than 20% marketing content in them. So you want to be careful when you're auditing this email, review it and look at it and critically examine, is what I'm sending, which is triggered by an upcoming transaction, is it serving the customer in a way that they find critical, or is it pushing an agenda that I find critical? And you may want it to do both of those things, but because it's a transactional email, you need to keep your marketing feeling not like hardcore, like buy this, buy this, buy this kind of marketing, but more like, here is the information I know you want. Here are additional things you can do, right? So number 2, another element is that it should offer subscriber flexibility. Flexibility in adjusting that order is big time in subscription e-commerce. So what you want to be able to do is, in addition to giving them some options, we suggest like 4 to 6 upsell or cross-sell options. You also want to give them options to do some things that they may need to do because they are either on vacation or they have specific different needs this go round when their subscription is about to come. That could include, they want the option to delay. They want the option to add items. They want the option to swap. They may want the option to ship it now because they are back from vacation and they have no product. And they want to be able to click quickly, ship now, and get it sent. They might want to take something that they have been adding as a one-time product over a period of time and start adding it and just add it to their subscription. So the more flexibility that you can provide in this email, the better. Because now you are saying like, hey, I value you so much as a subscriber that I'm not trying to drive you into the funnel of my choice. I'm giving you the options to make this subscription as flexible as possible to suit your needs. And by doing that, you increase LTV because now they don't have to cancel just to make sure that that box doesn't show up on their door while they're on their 2-week honeymoon, right? They've got the option to just kick it down the road a little bit, and they appreciate you as the vendor who made it easy to do that thing, not difficult. Another element of a strong shipping soon email, especially in subscription, is to make it smart. And what I mean by smart is customizing it. And in this case, that means making sure that the message in the email to each person makes sense for the person who is getting it, right? So if I subscribe to hair care products from a company that also sells makeup and also sells, I don't know, like nail, like press on nails or something. Obviously I don't subscribe to this stuff, so I'm like having problems coming up with it in my head. But clearly they have a couple of product verticals, right? I should be shown in my upcoming shipment notification, like, hey, here's your shampoo that you subscribe to. And as upsells, I should be seeing things that complement shampoo, like conditioner or dry shampoo, spray, or something else to do with hair or something. This is going to sound awkward, hair adjacent, right? So in other words, tell me about things that I might be more likely to need because I subscribe to this one product than sending all of your subscribers, whether they get a nail product, a hair product, or whatever else I made up earlier, one message with 4 to 6 products that are just general, right? So if I like a particular flavor scent from your company and I've got a subscription to a candle in that scent, instead of showing me all the different flavors, that you sell, because I've already chosen vanilla, you might show me multiple products in a vanilla flavor. Does this make sense? So when I say send something smart, I mean customize it to suit that subscriber's interests and desires. You also might want to use customization to reward loyalty. So on my first renewal, I might get one specific message, but on my 6th renewal, I might get something telling me, thanks for being around for 6 months. And we'd like to give you this free gift. Or at 6 months, we send out this bonus package, or this ability to give your friends something. Or so what you want to do is kind of use those messages to not just be generic, because what do we do when we get the same email every month? We start to know what to expect. And then we kind of like, it's kind of like seeing the same ad in social media when you just start ignoring it because you know it's that ad from that company, right? So in this instance, I would recommend you should go beyond just a generic 6-pack of all the same products for every customer, especially if you have ways to send them custom items or custom messages like renewals, and ARPU does support this if you're wondering. So our campaigns, you can trigger them right now by renewal count or by the product in their subscription, or by both. So you could say like, hey, Ashley, it's been 3 months and your hair should be looking fabulous by now. So let's go ahead and get you, I don't know, a free heat treatment or something. Products. I'm horrible at off the cuff product recommendations. We need to write this down. But the point is that the message that the subscriber gets should feel thoughtful to them. It should actually feel thoughtfully curated and very well timed for that particular moment in their subscription to your product. Number 4, you should send an upcoming shipment notification that removes friction when they want to take an action. So the fewer clicks from seeing a cross-sell or seeing a delay option and seeing a swap option until the action has been taken or that conversion has happened, the better. So if you can, we prefer you set things up within our system so that they're available in 2 clicks, because we don't have you have to log, like if they're on recharge and ARPU, they do not have to log in. So it's just 2 clicks from I see a product to like confirm, yes, this product I want to add to my next order, to done. So we call that like click, click, done. But whatever system you're using, you want to make sure that you're minimizing the chance that they drop off and don't take that action, as well as minimizing the chance that they get lost in some kind of loop of trying to log in or trying to do a thing, and then they fall off from that. So make it as easy as possible. The next thing I want to talk about, unless there are some questions, I'm not watching that, is benchmarks. Everybody ready? Okay. Give me a second. Here we go. Okay, so this is on our website and you can go find it on our proof page, but we dug into some data last year. Like I think this is all ending in 2021 before we made this page live. And we discovered that in addition to like a super high open rate, this is the column you want to concentrate on, that the average click rate in ARPU is monster, right? So because we only send an upcoming shipment notification, this gives you kind of an idea of the power of upcoming shipment notifications. 22% click rates, or 22.65, right? So that means people clicking on delays, people clicking on upsells, people clicking on go in and change my order some other way, right? The things that they can click in this email that I just gave you the elements of, that's their click rate. Conversion rate is also high. So what you're seeing here, just to give you context, this this is just email campaigns. And this is all from a Klaviyo report that was put out. If you want to go to our website and go to the proof page, you'll be able to go through to this. Klaviyo, I'm sorry, Klaviyo people. My clavicle apologizes for making me want to say the word as Klaviyo instead of Klaviyo. Klaviyo also pulled together metrics for what are called targeted email flows. So these are campaigns specific for different reasons. So they can include an upcoming shipment notification, but they also include just campaigns to specific segments promoting specific things, right? So it's general. But then here's what's exciting to me is the conversion rate on upcoming shipment notifications. 2.28% is pretty amazing. So this is our ARPU, general merchants, all merchants combined. I want to introduce you to this new metric that you'll want to pay attention to that we're going to eventually get into our software, but it's essentially a delay retention rate, which is the percentage of customers who resume their subscription after delaying it. Just in case you're on the fence about whether offering a delay is a good thing, 63% is a really high impact on your LTV. So we're going to go through some top performer decks. These metrics right here are based on the findings from the top merchants, which were the top 5% of ARPU merchants last year. And what's interesting is that, so these guys had the highest upsell ROI, which means what they spent on software versus what they sold. That's how we're calculating the ROI right there. And these guys had the best delay retention rate, which is what I just explained to you. Open rate kind of falls for the people who have high delay retention rate. Click rate kind of hovers around the median. But what's really interesting is that the merchants with the highest ROI, which we're going to look at some of their emails, had an 8.12% ROI. Monster. And then the highest delay retention rate people had a 2. Excuse me. I'm backing up for those of you who are listening. I'm saying an 8.2% ROI, and that was wrong. Just completely wrong. I apologize for that. That is the conversion rate. So back up. I think we talk about the ROIs in the deck. So we'll get to that there. My apologies. So conversion rate of 8%, that is also still monster. It's just monster in a way that my mouth did not communicate properly the first time around. And then a 2.3%, which is higher still than the average, but very close for the people with the higher delay retention rates. And the people with the highest ROI still had a really high delay retention rate, but not quite as high as the 80% of people returning and having another purchase after delaying with the people who have the highest delay retention rates. So I hope that helps set some benchmarks. If you are listening to the audio version of this and you're totally confused, go check out getarpu.com and click on the proof link at the top, or go watch the YouTube version of this video and watch me fumble these words on screen. All right, so what we're going to get into next is what you should be including in this email by looking at examples from the last year's high performers. So let me change the screen that I'm sharing. And I'm going to start with the people who had the highest ROI. And the merchants in these slides agreed for us to use their stuff. So thank you to these merchants. So just going back to their data, this is a repeat from what you just saw on the proof page. The merchants with the highest ROI had a conversion rate of 8.12. And their ROI, here's where it gets interesting. So our overall client base showed an ROI of 10.33 times what they spent on ARPU as the software tool to deliver, our top performers saw an average ROI of 31.48 times what they spent. So we went over conversion rate and ROI for our top ROI performers. Let's get into some strategies that you can steal from them. So make what's in your next order prominent. This sounds kind of obvious, but on occasion, I will get an email that's telling me that I'm about to be charged for something, and I don't know what the item is. Like, just make it really clear and prominent up top, because this is that critical information block we're talking about. Communicate to subscribers exactly what they're about to receive, that they have a very clear understanding of what to expect. Buyers love this. Subscribers kind of expect it at this point. Next, use strong headings that draw attention to your upsell section. So if one of your goals is to use this email to increase AOV and upsell products to people who are already subscribers, make sure they don't miss that section. Some strong headlines we found across these top performers were like, did you forget something? Want more? Add more, it's not too late. And there was one cute one that said like, spoil your pup. So you can get creative, just to make sure that that heading is clearly communicating you can add something to this order, right? Number 3, give truly exclusive discounts that subscribers will love. So discounts offered by top performers like ranged from 6 to 62%, with most offering around 30% or higher. And many reinforce that these deals are only available to subscribers. So what you don't want to do is offer prices on your website for one-time purchases that seem like exactly the same as what they could get if they were subscribers, right? So it's not enough to just say this is exclusive, like give them the reason to stay subscribed versus just coming back and buying one time and one time and one time. And for sure, do not miscommunicate? Do not communicate through your website that they could be going and finding codes and combining deals or doing things that would actually make those discounts cheaper than what they could get as a subscriber, right? Like no one wants to feel like they're being deceived about the discount they're getting. So some language that we noticed across multiple emails is, as a subscriber, you get exclusive savings, reserved inventory, free shipping, and much more. Another one says, special deal just for you. Get an amazing deal on add-ons for your next box. And another, in case you forgot, as a subscriber, like as a whatever brand subscriber it was, you get exclusive members pricing, reserve stocked, exclusive flavors, flavor names, and more. So in other words, make your subscribers feel through the language you use how valued they are to you, right? Like I, as a subscriber of this product, want to feel like I am put first in the line of products and new flavors and things like that. I also want to feel like I am getting exclusive perks that no one else is getting, right? And so that kind of plays into the whole idea of when you're building a loyalty program and what the subscriber experience should feel like. It shouldn't feel like your upcoming order, we're about to charge you for an upcoming order, buy more from us, please. Like it should feel like, as a reminder, we've got exclusive deals for you. Do you want to add any of these things to your cart for cheaper than you could go buy them on our website right now, right? Especially if you're running like a very subscribe and save centric subscription flow. It could be, if you're not like super into discounts, but you want the exclusivity perks, it could be that you're putting products in this email before you're putting them on your website, right? or before you're showing them to the general public, so that you're saying like first chance at whatever, or you're sending them maybe one for free even. So provide upsell options. This is number 4 for those listening. Provide upsell options that complement a subscriber's interests. So we want you to think of this email less as a storefront and more like an opportunity to suggest a few products that they'll enjoy trying in addition to the subscription product. That's what I referenced when I was talking about using campaigns. So we have our ARPU campaigns approach, where you can set up as many campaigns as you want to and kind of put them in a hierarchy of which one to send based on what's in the order or what renewal count someone has. But we advise that you stick to 4 to 6 items, because the more you put, like if you put 20, they get lost, and it's what's the term? It's like decision anxiety or analysis paralysis, right? Like too many things can be a bad thing. So we say stick to 4 to 6. That just seems to be what has performed best for our users. And our top brands give subscribers a chance to test flavors, scents, etc. So it could be that you have a new flavor that's available, like this one in the Jimmy Joy email, and you want to encourage that. So essentially what you're doing is increasing the LTV of the subscription by saying like, you get this, we think you might like one of these new flavors, right? And promoting that to them. So offer them a chance to try varieties, but do not overwhelm them. Think about what makes sense for each person. And if you had six spots max, what would you offer them? All right, this is one of my favorites. Ashley, yeah.
We got one question that came in through chat from Birgit. Apologies if I have mispronounced that. And this might be one that Ryan might hop on and answer. But the question is, for the ROI, is this based on the revenue from the extra products sold through these emails, or on the profit from the products? From the products, meaning I'm assuming the ones that are, I believe the difference is between the products that are the one-time additional products or the products that are already in the upcoming order.
It's based on the one-time upsells. Ryan, you want to confirm that in the chat, but we don't take credit. ARPU does not take credit for anything you've already sold them that's in their subscription. So it's based on the one-time add-ons that they have put in their cart from the ARPU email and converted on.
Yep. And Ryan has confirmed that that is correct. Yay. In the chat.
Ooh, we should do like Quiz Ashley Day sometime. That one I got. Boom. Okay. No, I knew that very confidently. Someone else try to make me look bad. Go for it. All right. Number 5. Offer a free item. Okay, so this is exciting. And this kind of plays into another point that we'll get to in a bit, because it was one of the things that I talked about in the topic list for this, which is how to train people to open this email. But number 5, super smart, offer a free item. One of our very high performing clients offers a free item to redeem alongside an upsell product. And the result is higher engagement with the ARPU emails that they send. Because here's a question, and I might word it really weirdly, but if you get an email from a company that has previously offered you a free item in that particular email, how likely are you to open that email? Because you want to see if they're going to do it again. The answer is very likely, or at least for me, because maybe I'm just like a little puppy dog who's waiting for the treat, or what, I don't know. But if along the way, and I think this is super smart, this is what Kettle and Fire sends as their first renewal email. This is the top offer in that first renewal. So what they did is they looked at, where do people churn? And a lot of times with subscription products, especially if they are subscribe and save, people will opt to subscribe because you've said, hey, we're going to notify you when the next one is coming and when you're about to be charged, and you can change that, right? Like that's the easing someone into making that decision to go ahead and subscribe, right? It happens. If that happens, then there's typically a high churn rate on first renewal because they got it, they maybe haven't used it yet, or they've used it, but they can't in their head decide if they really want to be subscribed, right? Because they intended just to buy it once, but you kind of like coaxed them into subscribing. Well, getting them to the next renewal is full of challenges, right? Because they get this email and they're like, oh yeah, I don't know if I still want to subscribe. But if you tell me I've got a free mystery gift coming my way, and you're teaching me how to use this email, which is click, click, done, then suddenly when the next email arrives for renewal number 2, I'm going like, I wonder what's in this one. And it may not be something free in every one. Like that could, like, you have to do the analysis and see how that impacts your bottom line and whether it is worth the investment to get someone to renewal 2 by using this tactic. But it's a wonderful way to bring them into the fold, help them feel like loved on as a subscriber. The mystery element is super smart. I don't know what's coming. And it's super smart on their end too, because then they don't have to say like, it's going to be lipstick or it's going to be this specific flavor or whatever. Like it can be whatever they have lots of stock of, right? Or they may have figured out that one free item performs better than others, right? So higher engagement because people are excited to see what other cool things they might find in these messages. That means more opens and clicks and your upsell and subscription management on your upsell and subscription management options. Okay, number 6, offer the option to delay. So Jimmy Joy is one of our case studies, and the team over there found that they were around with ARPU before delay was available, and they were waiting on it because they were excited about it, because one of their top reasons for churn was a drop-down answer or something of they had too much product, like the subscriber had too much product. So when they introduced delay, they watched the number of people who said they were churning because they had too much product cut in half. So there was a 50% reduction on that particular churn reason alone. And they put it really prominently, right? This one's interesting because need to delay is actually above what's in your next order. So they are basically saying, we know it's really important to you to be able to do this. So we're going to put it front and center, which I think as with anything, like with English language, grammar, writing, or emails and structuring in what order, it's okay sometimes to break the rules if you're finding that the way you're breaking it is working really well and is serving your customer base. So offer a delay in your ARPU email or your upcoming subscription email. And that means that customers have a convenient, flexible way to delay instead of canceling when they have too much product. So 8 of our top 10 upsell ROI merchants offered an opportunity to delay somewhere in their email. And most used a text link in a copy block above or below the upsell section. And one seller, who is also in the top 10 customers for delay retention rates, created like this CTA button. So I'm assuming this was Jimmy Joy, to make delays even easier. So there's a CTA there. And there's a couple of ways you could do this. You could have just the delay button right there, and then it takes them to a page and they decide like 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, like whatever options you give them. Or you can put those options and their links in the email. So if delay is really important to you and giving them that option is really important to you, you might want to consider some of these things. It actually works with customers who have high ROIs, especially in this case. Also, ARPU merchants who offer delays see an average delay retention rate of 63%. So that is like across the whole ARPU customer base. Number 7, this is the last one. Use language that clearly communicates one-time add-ons. So what you want to be careful of is making sure that people understand that they're just adding this once. They're just adding it to the box you're about to have packed for them and sent. They're not adding it to their ongoing subscription. Make that language super clear. Amy Myers, MD, this is a one-time addition. It will not be added to your ongoing subscription. Oh, okay. I'll go add something, right? Some of our top performers take care to emphasize that adding an order in the upsell section will only add it one time, ensuring subscribers are not confused. Another one would be like add other, like if you want to make this sentence more actiony, like starting with the action verb add other one-time goodies to your next shipment. Just put that one time in there to reassure them that the decision they're about to make is that small. It's just adding it to this one shipment, right? All right, so we're going to switch over and look at, actually, does anyone have any questions regarding those? I'm going to switch over to the top delay retention rate side and talk about some of the strategies that we pulled from them. Remember that the people who had the top delay retention rate, like of those customers who were in the top percent, they averaged an 80% delay retention rate. So they had 80% of people who delayed have a successful charge after those delays. And their average ARPU upsell ROI was not bad. 11.3 times what they were spending, they're getting back in upsell revenue. So let's just go right in. Oh, we looked at this data. I'll pause for this because I think we're going to continue to do this research year over year, and maybe it will start to tell us something. But we were looking at the average delays that they delayed and then had successful charges. So it didn't really seem like the people who performed best had much of a difference from our overall client base. So for the overall client base, the average days that something was delayed and then had a successful charge was 32. And the average days that were delayed and then churned was 41. And for the top performers, those numbers were like 34 and 44. So very close. I think we'll start to see some interesting things happen as we kind of like learn better how to deal with this data and what kind of tests and experiments we can run. Okay, so this one is kind of a repeat, so I'm not going to like linger on it for too long, but you want to make the delay option prominent. So if you are hoping to increase LTVs by offering delays, place it above the upsell. 70% of the those people with the highest delay retention rates were placing it above the upsell. So they must have seen that they were getting a lot of too much product churn, and that meant it was important to them to go ahead and pump this up ahead of the upsell, because that was the thing that their customers were expressing that they needed more from that company. So 2 top performers created like CTA buttons and placed the delay content in a colored box to set it apart. You do not have to do this. You can use like the default layout may have like the just the text link and some language around that. You can customize that language to what you want, but the CTA button is going to make it super obvious that delaying is an option. Here's more of the text look in this email we're looking at right now. Which is just not quite ready. Are you going on vacation? Click here to delay your next order. Here, number 2, use empathetic language. Ooh, did I read empathetic on a slide earlier and say emphatic? My head thinks I did. Okay. Use empathetic language to encourage delays and put the subscriber in control. So some examples of that language that we found: need to delay, that's okay. Still got enough at home or going on a holiday, no worries. So like what you're noticing here, the trend here is like you're basically telling them it's okay that you feel you need to delay. Like, we totally understand you, right? It's not putting a burden on them. It's actually saying like, you don't want this right now? That's okay with us, right? So not ready? No problem. You can change the date your subscription is shipped. Click here within the next 48 hours, right? That's going back to giving them a firm timeline of when they need to do a thing by. And then we already read this one, this not quite ready, going on vacation. So it doesn't have to be overly wordy. It just needs to somehow express like, this is completely fine. Here's an example of what it looks like once they've clicked through and they're shown the delay options on the page they land on. So align those delays. This is number 3. Align your delays with typical product consumption. So your delays may be different than another merchant's delays, right? Because your product may typically last someone longer. So you want to think about those when you're thinking about how much they might want to delay it. And that's going to really rely on how your product is consumed. All right, number 4, remind subscribers that they get exclusive perks. This is similar to the ROI top performers, but you want to make sure you're using that language that helps them understand that they get to take advantage of perks that non-subscribers do not get, right? Special deal just for you, get an amazing deal. In case you forgot, you get exclusive pricing. So do not forget to make sure they understand that they are getting something special. Number 5, optimize upsells and retention by combining discounts and delays. So this is kind of a no-brainer to us, but we do have some people that for specific reasons are apprehensive about one or the other and have just been using one. But what we found is that the majority of merchants with high delay retention rates also offer no or low discounts, like under 20%, but the merchants who made both top performer lists offered more generous discounts and featured their delays prominently. So something to think about. Their subscribers feel special. Their subscribers feel like their subscription is flexible. They feel like they can delay if they need to, and that they're getting treated really well in terms of the exclusivity of the discount they're offered. So follow their examples and get the best of both worlds. So here are just a few extra tactics that we noticed from the top performers. This slide is the same in both decks, so I just wanted to push it to last. And that is that you may want to try to make these emails look drastically different from your marketing emails if you send other emails to subscribers throughout the month. The reason is because this is primarily a notification. It's a transactional notification and secondarily marketing. So the marketing should feel like a service. Like, because you have this charge coming up, here are some options or steps you can take, actions you can take, instead of a push to buy more, right? There's a different mindset there. Adding a block to refer a friend and get a store credit or something, like sending them to a referral page. We just talked with Derek Haney at ecommerce.io, ecommercetech.io, who had previously been at, oh, Seth, you might have to help me remember the name of the company. It was some kind of candy cosmetics type name.
BoxyCharm.
BoxyCharm. See, I'm so proud of you. Okay, he was at BoxyCharm, and one of their big moves was to that was a subscription box business. So like you were going to get a box of X items per month that were curated and sent to you And what they did is they put a link in that said, refer a friend and you both get an eyeliner free, right? And it became this thing that grew their email list by 15,000 members each month or something completely crazy like that. So use this email for that type of referral marketing. Make sure to include a block to manage the subscription. Make sure you're, in addition to all, like the actions you're giving them to take, if they just need general management to get into that recharge portal or whatever vendor you're using, like give them that option to get there quickly. Include some language about how to contact support for special assistance. There may be a reason that the link is not working for like them, or there may be maybe they've waited after the 48 hours and they need a way to get to a human in case they have not taken the action in time, or if they have a question, right? Include shipping information if that is part of this email for you. Some of our customers have bits in there that say that, like you'll get a tracking number or whatever when it ships. Ask for feedback with a text link or a survey link so that you are creating two-way communication with your customer base, especially your subscribers. They are wonderful people to get feedback from, right? So if you start making them feel like they're a part of an exclusive community of subscribers whose opinions matter, then when you are debating which flavor to release next, or you are thinking about what product vertical to add to your product line, these are the people to ask for that kind of feedback. And you can reward them for that feedback. But a lot of times they are, if they are like a multi-month subscriber who is obsessed with your product, they are the very people to be asking like, hey, would you like grape or strawberry better for the next release? It makes them also feel valued because they get to give their opinion and dictate a decision. And then remind them that you'll email when it ships if you do. So that was kind of tying back into this shipping information bit. So that is the end of these top performer decks. I hope you have found them helpful. I hope you've seen some strategies that you can steal. I'm done with my bit unless people have questions, which I highly encourage. Any questions? I feel like I should do like the Bueller. Are you familiar with that movie, Seth, or are you too young?
I am. I love that movie.
Yay.
It's a great one.
The friend from that movie is in
Succession.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I had like a moment when I saw him and I was like, what was he in? What was he in? What was he in?
He's one of those guys. Yeah.
All right. So I'm not seeing any questions, but if you do have follow-up questions, you can always email our support is support@getarpu.com. Or if you have more like email strategy questions or things, feel free to send to Ashley at getarpu.com and I will do my best to give you an answer. Thanks for your time. Thanks for joining us. We are back in 2 weeks with Joelle Goldman. I just know her as Joelle. Kind of threw me off for a second there. From Turnbuster. And she's going to be talking about a slide that apparently had the most photos taken of any slide that appeared at ChargeX, which Recharge just held at the beginning of the month. So we're going to get her to come in and talk about customer retention and what you're doing to keep your subscribers happy and the ways that you are managing retention flows with them. And then after that, we have Lauren Nolan from House of Wise, which is so she's representing a merchant brand, and she's going to come on and talk to us about some strategies that they've kind of like changed as they've navigated subscription selling, because I think they had one approach to different tiers, and then they switched that. So those will be June 1st and June 15th. And you'll be getting emails if you're registered for this event about those as they come up. Again, we're here every 2 weeks. We appreciate your time and thank you for joining us.